Hey, high leveler, listen, if you have a website or funnel that's hosted in the platform and you want to get better SEO results, then today you're really going to like what we're talking about, which is the AI schema markup generator. So I'm going to show you how you can generate your website schema, which is just a set of information that Google and other search engines can use to know what your website's actually about, and how you can use AI inside of our high level SEO settings in order to generate this schema and improve your SEO using AI. Now, in this example, we have a fitness website, one that is selling fitness equipment. But whenever this goes out to search engines with our SEO, they don't know quite what's on every single page unless we give them our schema. Now, in this example, we've got a multi-page fitness e-com website where we're selling, let's say, gym equipment. And if we go up here to SEO and AI search optimization, if we look all the way down at the bottom, we'll see schema markup. That includes some information about our website. Now, with this first option to add in our schema manually, all we have to do is select our schema on the left-hand side. Then over here on the right, we can select our schema type. So this just gives search engines a little bit of information about what this info is for our site. So let's say on this page, we'll say it's a website schema type, and then we can include the website name. So we'll say the fitness brand, we'll include the URL, we'll include search functionality. And basically just this allows us to fine tune what pages our websites are going to whenever people search for things. So for example, if someone's searching for a yoga mat and we're selling that on our website, we can include our URL, follow this guide right here for search, and so on. We can do the same thing for query inputs. So whenever people search up for specific search terms, where can I buy a yoga mat, stuff like that, we can always set this up from here. We can also include the publisher name, publisher URL, all this different stuff. Each one of these different categories will have a different set of information we're including. So for example, under organization and let's say medical organization, then we have a different set of info here that is going to go out to search engines based on this info. So feel free to go through each one of these categories based on your website, and you can add different types of schema. So we have our medical organization. We'll set up another one for, let's say, a product. So if we have a product one for said yoga mat, then we can include a description. Then we can include the brand type. So if this is under the brand, we'll enter the brand name, include the logo URL. So you can see all this is really useful for, like, so let's say someone searches up, where can I buy a yoga mat? Then they're going to be sent to this page and they'll be able to see all of this information. So this allows you to really fine tune exactly what you're showing search engines through your SEO. And there's a ton of stuff you can include on each one of these. You have your price, currency, offer URLs, price validates, conditions. All of this is custom to each one of these categories for your different types of schema. Now, if this does seem a little bit complicated to you, don't worry. We have a much simpler option, and I'll show you that in a second. Lastly, you can also edit and manage your schemas on the left-hand side by clicking duplicate or delete. You can also see a plain JSON view of this is what is showing to search engines whenever they are searching for your product and going through your different sets of schema. So you can see we have our schema for our yoga mat right here, and so on. Now, if we want to save this to our site, we can click validate and save, and then we will be good to go. Now, if we don't know how to set up our own schema ourselves, or we don't want to spend all that time manually doing that, of course, we can do it with AI by clicking Create with AI. Now, when we do this, it will immediately send a prompt to our schema markup AI. It'll go through our entire site page, and then it will figure out exactly what type of schema to create for our website. So this is super cool. You can see it going through this whole process of analyzing the entire page, going through its own to-do list. Legitimately, for SEO, this is an absolute game changer, and this is going to help you get way better results in search engines and in AI. And once our schema AI is complete, you'll see that it's gone through all of our different pages. It's set up an organization schema, a web page schema, and then we can see our whole markup at the bottom by clicking View Schema Markup, and then this will open up that JSON view. So this is much faster than doing it the manual way, and then whenever you're done with this, you can click Validate and Save, and you'll have your first schema created. But either way, this is going to make it a lot easier for you to rank better on search engines, and make sure you always, of course, fill out the rest of these fields on the left-hand side to make sure you're getting the best results possible with your SEO. Now, if you're new to schema and you're new to SEO, let me explain a couple of things. First, schema is page specific. So you don't want to add something that's product specific or that's not included on that page to that page's schema. For example, if you have a home page, you don't want to add a yoga mat sales schema to that page because that's not the page you want to send people to. This also means that your schema isn't site-wide. So if you make one set of schema for the home page, it doesn't apply to the other pages because search engines are going to show the right pages to the right people based on your schema. So make sure you set this up for for each individual page and that you have the right information that's accurate to what you actually have on the website. Also, don't include anything that's fake or not included on the actual website page. Don't include things like fake reviews or fake products or anything just to get clicks. That's generally just not a good practice. Also, if you generate a page with AI in the high-level site builder, it doesn't automatically create that schema. You do have to make sure you go back into the schema section of the SEO details in order to make sure you add that data after you've generated a website. And of course, make sure you're just using the right categories for different types of schema. You saw that you can use organization categories, web page categories, product categories, FAQ, things like that. Include that information if it's relevant to that page. So FAQ is great for the home page or a page where you have an about section or an FAQ page specifically. Product schemas are great for product pages and product details pages if you want to send people to those pages specifically. And of course, ones like local business are going to be best if you have a physical location. So don't use local business if you're set up as an online business with your website. Even just adding one or two of these schema types to each one of your website pages can help immensely with getting more results from your SEO whenever you have a site hosted inside of HighLevel. So as always, if you have any questions about this feature and you want to learn more about it, feel free to refer to the help doc or just drop a comment on this video. As always, my name is Andrew and thank you very much for watching.